So as we get started today, this video is divided into chapters. If you want to skip at any point, just look at the sliding bar underneath the plating window and you can see the chapters to skip ahead. Welcome back to the Crochet Chronicles, my friends over at yarnspirations.com. Today we're going to do the half double crochet corner to corner known as C2C. Yes, it can be done in half double crochet and you can also do the Grafghan work as well. There's going to be 3 videos in this series. There's going to be a square, a rectangle, and a border. And what we're going to do in this series is that we're going to explore the options to do it. Now one of the hang-ups that we have when we teach this is to get to people to understand that each row is an increase and then it's a decrease eventually. So what's going to happen, especially in the rectangles, that's where people go mostly wrong. So let me show you another diagram and I'll explain why that's important. So here's the diagram for the border. So the border is going all the way around. The thing about crochet corner to corner is that we always present it so it's flat to the page, but in actual fact it is a corner to corner and it should be tilted on an angle like this. So when you go to look at it, I put it on an angle in the paper so that you can actually understand this. And so what you're going to have is row number 1 and then row number 2, row number 3, 4, 5, 6, and etc. So once you understand the growth rate that's happening in this, you can go as big as you want to go, but then when you're ready to decrease, especially on the square, you'll decrease on the same row in order to come back to a point. So what we're going to do is explore this a little bit more in detail, and I want to explain about these Grafghans that Repeat Crafter Me, aka Sarah, likes to create. So in corner to corner you can do these Grafghans, and each box in a Grafghan usually represents one box that you see. So these are considered boxes or squares. And so in the first row you have 1 square. In the second row you have 2 squares. So these Grafghans, even though Sarah likes to refer to one side as being the starting point, when she presents it she's always presenting it like this, but I'm recommending that you turn it sideways. So knowing that you're doing that, you can turn it any which way and follow it in order to make it go. It's a myth to know that there is a left and a right hand version, because all you just got to do is just follow it along. So that's why these are turned in different ways, because how you approach it is really completely up to you. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to show you with my Caron Colorama Ogo with using a 6mm size J crochet hook. You can use any yarn that you wish or any hook as long as they complement each other, and let's show you how this is done. So as we get started today, the difference between a double crochet and a half double crochet is in the chain. So whenever there's an expansion, usually in double crochet there was always chain 6 and then we start. In half double crochet it's only going to be chaining of 5. So whenever we expand we're going to just chain out 5 and then come back and then jump across. So that's really ultimately the difference. The advantage of the half double crochet is that it's tighter. So even if you're going to use like a double crochet version for this and make it into a half double crochet, this will be much smaller because it is a half double crochet, because it's not as tall of a stitch. So let's grab our yarn now and let's. So I'm going to teach you my method. Of course it's my video, so I'm going to teach you the way that I think you should learn it, but of course it's up to you. So create a slip knot to begin. This is classified as an easy level. I'm not sure if it's beginner, but it's pretty close. And you're going to start off with your slip knot. So you have to create box number 1, so square number 1. So to do that, in the very first, here's what my tip is. I want you to chain 5, but wait, there's more. So you're just gonna chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, pinch, 4, and 5. That one that I just pinched is your very first stitch going in. So I want you, that stitch plus the rest of the 2 that are left are each going to be a half double crochet. So wrap the hook, move your thumb out of the way and go right into that one that you secured and do a half double crochet. And there's only 2 left, so you're gonna do the other 2 as well. Okay, so you should have 3 half double crochets and this skipped over chain, and that space that I'm holding open right here is going to be used in the future. So turn your whole box like this and let's begin row number 2. So because it's a square, we're building out, so it's considered an increase. So don't look at it from this perspective, look at it from an angle perspective, and that'll help you out. So in order to do the next row we have to expand out. So to do the expansion we are going to chain 5. But wait, this is how I do it. So I go 1, 2, 3, pinch, 4 and 5. Again, where I pinched is the first stitch. So just half double crochet into that one. So move your thumb out of the way and half double crochet there, and then do the other 2 that are left, and that's a new box or a new square. So we are expanding and making this square bigger. So you're just going to just fold it up like this. Okay, so fold it up and you're looking for this space that is in between the chain work and the first half double crochet, and that's where you're going to slip stitch. So just fold it up and slip stitch, and you're not done because you're still expanding. You need to chain 2. So 1 and 2, and in that same space you need to put in 3 half double crochet. And when you're done with that, row number 2 is done. So look at it from this perspective, and let's turn our work and do row number 3. So row number 3 we're gonna get a little bit bigger again. So every time you do a row and you're expanding, you're always increasing by only 1. So you had 1 square here, this one you have 2, so in row number 3 you're gonna have 3. So to start again, and you're expanding out, so you'll go 1, 2, 3, pinch, 4, 5. Move your thumb out of the way and do that one plus the other 2 that are left. So it's like the double crochet. There's only 3 double crochets, and once you have that done, fold it up and go for the space and slip stitch, and now you're working across like this. So chain 2 and put in 3 half double crochets in that same space that you did the slip with. So 1, 2 and 3. Then again look for the final space, slip stitch. We're still expanding, so we're gonna continue to grow it out. So you're just gonna chain 2 and put 3 half double crochets into that same space. And then once that's done, I'm gonna show you one more row. So just turn your work and let's begin row number 4. So row number 4 we're gonna grow out. So you just have to keep doing the same thing over and over and over until you're happy with if it's a square, you're just gonna be happy with the width that you'll get. So you'll start a new one. So 1, 2, 3, pinch, 4 and 5, and then half double crochet in the one you pinched. It saves you having to count it back. Okay, and then those are in, so just fold it up and bring yourself to the space. Slip stitch, chain 2 and 3 half double crochets. So 1, 2 and 3. Continue to fold up and get the next space, and then chain 2 and then 3 more half double crochets in this space. So do you understand how the growth is happening? You're growing it on both sides equally for this square. Once you got that one done, go into the space and do your final square. So 1, 2 and then 3 half double crochet. So once you understand how you're growing it, once the side is reached to the distance that you want, maybe you want to measure to your sofa or to a friend or whatever, you're ready for the decrease then once you get there. So continue to increase, and then what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to turn my work and then I'm going to show you how to do the decrease, which is row number 5 in the diagram. So now we're going to do a decrease. So the decrease is going to start coming back to the point once again. So what we have to do is that this side here is done, and so is this side. So we got to fill in what's left. So right where we're sitting, we have to slip stitch ourselves to this space. So to do that, you are going to slip in the next half double crochet. Be very mindful to give yourself some slack. If you're too tight, you will see and it will pull up. So go into the next one and slip, and then go into this space and slip, and you're sitting in the right spot. Now you already know what you're doing from this point. You just don't realize it yet if you're new. So to start and fill in a box, you're going to chain 2 and do your 3 half double crochets. So you're no longer expanding by starting with the chain 5. That's the secret with this decrease. Once you get your 3 in there, you're looking for the next space. So it's still the same stitch work in between. You just got to handle those edges differently. So 1 and 2, and then 3 half double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. And what I'm purposely doing when I do C2C, sometimes I accidentally go too far, so you have to look where your final edge will be. Especially in your first row across, you may just forget and not realize that you've accidentally expanded. So by pulling this up, I should be stopping now. I should not be increasing anymore because I want to make it square, and you can see the remaining. So let's turn our work and do row number 6 in the diagram, and again this will apply for anything that you're doing a decrease with. So row number 6 in the diagram, right where we're sitting, we have to slip stitch over 1, 2, 3, and then into the space. So right where we're sitting right now, we're going to slip into the top of the first 3 half double crochets. Again, provide a little bit of slack. If you're too tight, it makes it into a diamond shape. And then once you get the 3, you're gonna go right into the space, and that's where you're gonna start. And you already know what you're doing at this point. You're gonna chain only 2 and then half double crochet 3 times. So 1, 2, and 3. And like when we were increasing by 1 box per row, when you do a decrease, you're decreasing by 1 box per row. And then that's it. So normally sometimes what I do is I'm not paying attention, and then I'll chain 2, and then I'm like, oh, I'm growing more than I should. So once you have it filled in like that, you're going to turn your work and do your continuous. So this is gonna be the last time. It's the last box to fill in. So I'm going to have to slip stitch. So I slip stitch over 3 times, then go into the slipping of the space. So a total of 4. Chain 2, and then you're doing your final. So you'll notice is that you never really truly end up on the edge of the point when you finish. So you got that last one, you're gonna slip stitch and you're done. So what I technically informally do is that I just turn my work and I slip stitch over to the space to bring that right to the edge. And that's a personal call. You can decide to do whatever you want. And then that completes that. I didn't write that in the instructions, but that's kind of what I would do, and it will look pretty good. So then you can just trim your yarn and weave in your ends. So let me show you how to weave in your ends, and then we're gonna move on to the border next. So once I've just released that off, I'm going to weave in my ends. So just putting it through a tapestry needle, things have a tendency to fall out if you don't do it. Just drag it through the same coloring. So if you're using different colors, you want to make sure you're staying within the same color, and drag it through. Don't change the shape of it by yanking on it too hard. And if you go back and forth a total of 3 times in different sections, it should never fall out on you. And you're gonna do that with any loose ends that you have. And you can trim that right down and you'll never see it. So I'm gonna secure the other one, and then we're gonna talk about the border next.